Writing Through the Brick Wall. Lesson 3. Understanding Your Purpose. Let's talk purpose. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, advises us all to start with the end in mind, to have a clear understanding of our destination. Makes sense, doesn't it? To begin with the end, your purpose, in mind. This is super important in writing an essay. So let's get into it. In the big picture, knowing your purpose includes questions like, why the hell are you here? Why are you in school? What do you want to do after you graduate? What's your career goal? Specificity of vision is a great help in achieving your goal. A student who has a vision of opening a chain of bakeries is in a much better position of asking questions about that goal than a student who just generally wants to go into business. Imagine buying a plane ticket without a destination. Imagine getting on a bus and just riding around town. Might be a good way to spend an afternoon, but it certainly is not a career. We'll get into creating actionable life visions when we talk about mission statements. Later for that, though. When you write for an audience, it's because you want something from them. It may be that you want them to understand a concept, or that you want them to see things your way, or to give you power, or money, or to go out and do something. Or maybe you just want a good grade. But that's your purpose. Know what you want to do before you wander off into distraction. Many times your professor will tell you what she wants. Let's call that a writing prompt. Often it's more vague than you'd like it to be. So is life. You just have to deal with it. Ask questions. Get clarity. Stay fluid in your approach while focusing on your purpose. Remember that writing teachers are teaching writing, so they want to see that you write well. Your big purpose is to show your teacher that you know how to write. The next level purpose is having something worth saying about the assignment. Your professor probably doesn't really care how you deal with the prompt. Go to her office. Discuss a few ideas about what you could write. Bring those ideas with you. Where do those ideas come from? Well, first, do your research. Research will take you places that are full of ideas. Take notes. Don't steal, just inform yourself. Next, use your own brilliant mind for brainstorming, free writing, or just talking it over with your friends. When you brainstorm, generally you're making a list of single words. Like if I say black, you say white. If I say green, you say something. Just put those words down. By the time you've put down 20 words closely or vaguely related to your topic, I guarantee you're going to have at least 5 ideas there that you can use. The same goes with free writing. When you start free writing about the topic, you focus on that and then let your mind take you wherever you want to go. And if you start writing about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, any of those things, your mind's going to bring you back to that topic. And by the end of it, you'll have fleshed out several ideas that are actually going to be something you can work with. The same is true with talking with your friends. Your friends may have no clue about what it is the prompt is, but they're going to come to you with crazy ideas and things that at first seem like you can't use them at all. And then on second thought, you say, wait a minute, that's an idea I can use. You have so many different ways to approach this. And those ideas that you put together, you take to your professor, sit down and discuss with them. Which one of these would be a good one for us to write about? Because now you'll have your audience telling you what they want. You can't be writing better if you're writing to what you've already agreed upon with your professor. Use several sources. Ask several questions. Make several opinions. Several is the key word. There'll be a lot of bullshit in there, but there'll be diamonds too. Mine those diamonds. Practice those skills. They'll be important in your life. Whatever you finally decide to write about, that's your subject. How you want your audience to perceive that subject, that's your theme. So for example, racism is a subject. But how you want your audience to perceive racism, that's going to be your theme. The subject of a scary movie is often a monster, whether it's human or animal or something otherworldly. But surprisingly, the theme of scary movies is often love. The monster generally serves as a vehicle for the hero to show his or her love to somebody. He or she may die doing it, but that's drama. So the subject of the movie is the monster and the blood and the gore. But the lesson, the theme that you're learning from it is how much people are willing to sacrifice for love. Your point of view or your theme is an opinion. And opinions generally aren't considered to be that scary. If you like chocolate over vanilla or strawberry, you're going to say it and no one's going to care. And if you're talking to people and you voice your opinion, they're going to listen to you or they're not going to listen to you, they're going to argue with you, or they're just going to think you're full of shit. Won't matter. But what really scares students when they're writing is having to put their opinion down on paper, because writing is a completely different beast than talking. Writing is permanent. When you put something down on paper or in your computer, it's as if you put it in stone, and that's terrifying. Writing is a performance art, like making a musical recording or making a film. It can be intimidating. You have an audience, they're critical. They actually are critics. And you are there by yourself, standing alone, with nothing but your opinion and whatever you have to back it up. That's going to take you some time to get through. Take it a couple of steps at a time. Let's keep working on it. The best reason, the best purpose for you to keep working on your writing is to get that grade and get through this damn class. But it's also going to be important in your career. Fact is, in almost any career, whatever you write has the potential to be a legal document. But on top of that, when you learn to write well, you learn to think well. And when you learn to think well and you understand your audience, that gives you the power of influence. Now, influence in and of itself isn't a bad thing. And power in and of itself isn't a bad thing. But the power of influence is an ethical decision. You want to be in that seat that gets to make those decisions about not just how your life goes, but how the lives of the people that you care about go. Your performance, your opinion, your writing, well researched and carefully crafted, gives you great power, great influence. But it also does something else. It helps protect you from those other people who have the same type of skills. They want to take your stuff. You don't want to give it to them. Your writing and your thinking is going to help you keep your shit. That's important. Not a lot of people are willing to commit fully to the thinking that is required for good writing. But that also means that not a lot of people are going to be carrying around those weapons of persuasion. That means that people with weaker thinking skills and weaker writing skills are vulnerable to the people who can think and can persuade. This is why commercials work so well. We don't have a chance against the greatest persuaders in the world. Give any empty idea to a great commercial advertising firm, and they will make us believe that an empty idea is God's will. What is your purpose for watching this video? Why do you want to learn to write well? What do you want to do in life? And what skills do you want to bring with you when you get there? Life is a scary thing. Everybody's filled with anxiety. We all make terrible mistakes. Your greatest celebrities are filled with the same anxiety and doubt that you are. There's no reason to be feeling that you're alone in this. But with work and with help, you can get there. Ashley Grice has an informative TED Talk called The Power of Purpose in Business. Check it out. It's free. Or don't. It's up to you. When you write down the purpose of your essay, you've got a rough draft of your theme or thesis for the paper. You've overcome that fear of writing an opinion. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Just write that shit down and move on to the next item on the agenda. I appreciate you listening. Keep pushing that rock. Here's the supplemental sources mentioned during this class. Lesson 3, Quiz. Why should you start with the end in mind? You should, as Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind, so that you know why you are doing whatever you are doing. If you know the purpose of your task, like writing an essay good enough to get a grade good enough to help you pass the course, then you're more likely to put up with the hard work and bullshit it will take to accomplish the task. When you have the end in mind at the beginning, you're also more likely not to get distracted or confused along the way. Once you have a working thesis for your essay, for example, write that beauty down and tape it next to your computer screen so that you're not tempted to stray from the purpose of your paper's content. Let the end purpose drive your thinking. You'll get there, and it'll be focused. What's the purpose of brainstorming, free writing, and talking with your friends about the writing prompt? Brainstorming, free writing, and talking with your friends about a writing prompt will help you generate both bad and good ideas for you to choose from. Without generating ideas, you're simply settling for the first thing that comes to mind. Like when you talk. How many times have you said something and then later kicked yourself for not thinking to say something else that would have been way better, smarter, or more effective? So let's take my example of brainstorming. You know, the one where I say white and you say black and I say green? That was an awful example. Don't listen to that guy. He didn't think about other better examples for you. What a moron. Brainstorm with the topic or subject in mind. If you have 3 people to work with and the topic is world hunger, then you say world hunger. If your friend is a stoner and says something weird like green, that's okay. Your other friend might jump on that weird wagon and go with rabbits just to mess with you. Your turn, and you say starving children. Whoa, you just bummed that stoner friend out, dude. I don't want to think about starving kids, she says. Write that down. Your other friend, equally bummed, says, how do I donate to help them out? Stop there a moment. Look what you just generated. Topic, world hunger. Rabbits are a very prolific source of food. Everyone can get rabbits to make more rabbits, but you'll need to figure out how to get rabbits in cages and feed to all those hungry people. Now you're thinking logistics. And you found that you'll have to generate a campaign to overcome people's natural repugnance toward the subject even while at the same time they want to help. Look at you. You're on a group brainstorming roll. Do some research on those crazy ideas and you've got a great start. You approach free writing in a similar fashion, except it's just you and your pen and paper or keyboard. Tape that prompt up and start writing. Write about hunger and how you just might be hungry now. Write about the last date you went on and how bad the food was. Go on to how your mother made that mac and cheese just right, and how you wish you had a way to cook in the dorm. Holy crap, man. You just spit some usable ideas. How do people cook around the world? What is a favorite cultural food? Is there a one food fits all? Do you need to consider ways to make eating a communal activity like a big group date to encourage people who might not otherwise trust the system? I don't know the answers, but I'd be interested in your essay if you get all that focused around a clear theme. The conversation with your friends should go about the same way, wandering, weird, but always brought back to focus by the moderator, you. Generate those ideas, consider them. Some of the loonies will turn out to lead to solid stuff. A little research will help you tease out the sapphires from the glass. Get those sapphires and your research together and go visit your professor to finalize your thinking. See if your professor gets even a little excited about your work so far. Maybe even smiles. Maybe suggests additional research sources. You went from zero to money by creating ideas from almost thin air. Good on you. What's the difference between a subject and a theme? The topic is what your essay is about. The theme is how you spin what the essay is about. An academic essay prompt might ask you about some of the most interesting questions you've had while in school. That is a topic, and if it was all the prompt asked, you might think the professor was simply looking for a list of questions. Probably not. That's why the prompt will ask you why you found those questions interesting. That's where the theme is. You're going to list some questions, topic, but you will have to reveal yourself in spinning why those questions were interesting to you. Theme. If you are asked to write about your choice of college major, what do you think will be included in that ask? You got it. Why did you choose the major? Think about it. You could have a class filled with business majors, and each student would be writing on the same topic. But because each student is unique and has her, his, their own hopes and ambitions, every essay will be different because the theme requires a personal approach, unique thinking, and one-of-a-kind evidence and explanation. In the real world, you might meet someone at a party, and he might ask you to tell him something about yourself. Of course, you're not going to give any big reveals, but you might offer some movies you enjoyed, some activities you like, and maybe some anecdote about school. The list of things you speak about is a topics list. But because each person will choose different things to answer the question, the beginnings of a theme about who you are as a person will emerge. This party young man might follow up on one of your topics because it is common ground. He liked that movie too. Now you can really develop the theme when you ask him what he liked about the film. If you liked the strong female lead and he liked the bloodshed, well, you just might hit the brakes on this connection. But it was in the theme and its development that you discovered your insights. Topic is just stuff to write about. Theme shows personality, opinion, and where your ideas come from. So buckle up. No more writing about only the topic. You are a unique living being with great potential. Bust that out in your theme and step into the spotlight of life. How does good writing lead to good thinking? Good writing leads to good thinking because good writing requires a process. In conversations, your mind runs pretty much randomly, depending on your mood, how tired or hungry you are, or how important to you the person is you're speaking with. So lots of conversations amount to nothing. But good writing requires thinking through the topic, doing some research, brainstorming, deciding on a theme, organizing your thoughts, writing a rough draft, getting feedback, revising your rough draft, editing your grammar, sentence structure, and word choice, and checking your format. That's process. You can see how a process like writing would kill every attempt at conversation. The early Greeks, in fact, detested writing. They thought writing was a lazy use of the brain. They thought that writing would weaken memory and that memory was the key to a sharp mind. But the Greeks came around to the realization that both memory and thinking are sharpened by the process of writing. Some of the explanation lies in repetition, how much you have to read other people's writing, like in research, and how much you have to reread your own work, as in revision and editing. There is also the interplay of thought when you seek advice and help in brainstorming your pre-writing process, as well as when you receive feedback, hopefully several times. Repetition and consideration of the thoughts of others lights up a lot of sections of your brain. Hell, just using a noun for a verb in Shakespeare's Othello, as in to lip a woman, meaning to, well, you're a college student, you can guess what Shakespeare's greatest villain Iago meant by lip in that context. Even just that flippant word usage excites parts of the brain not normally associated with listening to simple sentences. Read James L. Keetl's article for yourself. It's called How Shakespeare Tempests the Brain, Neuroimaging Insights. It's fascinating stuff. Lit up my brain like café con leche with 2 shots of Haitian rum. Full disclosure, I am clean and sober these days, but if you've never tried CCL con ron, there's that for you. Anyway, the point is that the process you put yourself through to create good writing automatically shuffles your thought processes. Swell in that melon and, as you internalize the writing process, honing your thinking as sharp as a leather-stropped barber's razor. Bonus points, right? How does good writing protect you? Good writing is spell casting. You work your magic on the mind of your audience, and the purpose you seek emerges in real time. The stronger your writing, the stronger and more permanent your spells and your power. But spells can be used for offense and defense. In a world filled with alchemists, turning words into gold and influence, your writing and the power of your thought processes help to check those influential spells coming at you. Critical thinking, which unlocks the magic of your mind, will break through the manipulation of others and protect you. Beyoncé, the queen bee, says, "If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow." For those people who want to control you and your money and your growth, your never learning anything is the ideal. That puts them in control. But you're feeling the challenge of an imperfect world and rising to that challenge to improve your thinking and writing and analysis and process, that best version of you that you seek to become every day will put the kibosh on those assaults on your freedom, dignity, and choice. Put your mental boot up their metaphorical ass. How about those production values? I see you've discovered voiceover. Pathetic progress, but progress. How about discovering a better microphone and lighting? What's with the stuff on the mantle? Are you using subliminal messaging? Should I be concerned that I might learn something beyond what you're speaking about? Keep pushing that rock, fella. By the way, what's up with your voice? Did you have a throat operation recently or something? Get right or get out.